I think the first bit we've got to examine is this idea that's pushed onto us that heaven and hell are external places that we get to after we die, and this life is just sort of an in-between moment. And these ideas are pushed onto us by the mainstream religions, which religions were all created to take this innate spiritual knowing that we have, because we're all wired to want to move back to our highest potential. So religions came along and they took that innate spiritual knowing that we have and they twisted it in a way to create a better control scheme, to create a population that's more easily controlled by man. So religion gives us this idea that heaven and hell are external places, that this life is all that we have, especially from the traditional Christian reality. Many religions talk about this one life idea, and this life, maybe it kind of sucks a little bit, but if you do it well, don't worry. And if you pay your priest, don't worry, because you're going to go to heaven. But if you don't, then God's going to judge you and you're going to go to hell. So you've got these two polarizing ideas, either fear-based or this sort of reward-based reality, whereas none of them actually are true. Heaven and hell, and all the ascended masters talk about this, but I'm most familiar with the teachings of Yeshua, of Jesus, and he said the kingdom of heaven is within. So it truly is a space that resides within us. And he said this several times within the Bible, yet mainstream religions ignore this part. They don't talk about this and people don't read it for themselves. But it's very clear. It's very clear to see that this all exists within inside of us. So truly, it's two states of being. We can exist in heaven or we can exist in hell at any point in time, just based on how we see, based on our perspective. If we want to live in a reality based on abundance, based on unconditional love, based on goodness. So God is goodness. God is the highest goodness. So when that highest goodness reigns supreme, when that highest goodness reigns supreme within us, when we are good to all, when we are kind to all, then creation responds accordingly. Creation responds in that same sort of heavenly state of being. It's a frequency, it's a vibration that we resonate at. And in the same way, on the opposite end of the spectrum, if we reside in that lower end of the spectrum, if we're operating in this victim consciousness, if we're always in fear, then creation responds accordingly and we manifest, have hell on earth. So we get to choose in any moment. And because we are certainly an individual experience having that, but we are also collectively bound based on where the majority of people lie within that space. If most people are manifesting heaven or hell, then that's what comes out in the external, and that's what we see in this external reality. So it truly is a choice in all moments. We are not victims to any reality. The victim consciousness is a lie pushed onto us. We truly are able to shift this at any moment, both in our own story and in the collective story all around us.